All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Siguru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narotama Devin Saraswati Vyasa Tattva Jaya Mutiraya Nastrapaye Svabhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9. Beginning from chapter 1, introduction. It's not here. I think this ends with the Matsya incarnation, yeah. All right. So, the title of this chapter, Canto 9, Chapter 1, title is King Sudyumna Becomes a Woman. So, I'll just read through the chapter summary. This chapter describes how Sudyumna became a woman and how the dynasty of Vivaswata Manu was amalgamated with the Soma Vamsa, the dynasty coming from the moon. By the desire of Maharaj Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami told about the dynasty of Vivaswata Manu, who was formerly King Syatavrata, the ruler of Dravida. While describing this dynasty, he also described how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, while lying down in the waters of devastation, gave birth to Lord Brahma from a lotus generated from his navel. From the mind of Lord Brahma, Marishi was generated, and his son was Kashyapa. From Kashyapa, through Aditi, Vivaswan was generated. And from Vivaswan came Sradadev Manu, who was born from the womb of Samgya. Sradadev's wife, Shraddha, gave birth to 10 sons, such as Ishwaku, Riga, and Riga. Sradadev, or Vivaswata Manu, the father of Maharaj Ishwaku, was sonless before Ishwaku's birth. But by the grace of the great sage Vasistha, he performed a yajna to satisfy Mitra and Varuna. Then, although Vivaswata Manu wanted a son, by the desire of his wife, he got a daughter named Ila. Manu, however, was not satisfied with the daughter. Consequently, for Manu's satisfaction, the great sage Vasistha prayed for Ila to be transformed into a boy. Prayer. no plastic surgery. And his prayer was fulfilled by the Supreme Personality of God. Thus, Eli became a beautiful young man named Sudumna. Once upon a time, Sudumna went on tour with his ministers. At the foot of the mountain Sumeru, there is a forest named Sukumara. And as soon as they entered that forest, they were all transformed into women. Powerful forest. When Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami about the reason for this transformation, Sukadeva Goswami described how Sudumna, being transformed into a woman, accepted Buddha, the son of the moon, as her husband, and had a son named Pururava. By the grace of Lord Shiva, Sudumna received the benediction that he would live 1 month as a woman and 1 month as a man. Thus he regained his kingdom and had 3 sons, named Utkala, Gaya, and Vimala, who were all very religious. Thereafter, he entrusted his kingdom to Purava and took the order of Vanaprastha life. So we'll go to text 1. Sri Raja Uvacha Manuvantara Nisarvani Trayuktaru Srutanimi Viryanyanta Viryasya Aristatra Kitanicha. Can someone repeat? Can someone chant? Or we go to chant the 8th verse with the pop-up? 8th verse with the pop-up. Okay. So translation. Translation by His Divine Graces Confirmed Acharya, Srila Abhachan Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. King Parikshit said, "My Lord, Sukadeva Goswami, you have elaborately described all the periods of the various manus, and within those periods, the wonderful activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has unlimited potency. I am fortunate to have heard all of this from you." Text 2 to 3. So I just read through so that we don't have to give all of the time. Yoso Satya Vrato Nama Rajasi Dravi Deshwaraha Gyanam Yotita Kalpante Lebe Puru Sasevaya Savai Vevasvata Putro Manu Asid Iti Sutam Tratastasya Sutta Prokta Eshwaku Pramukaripa. Translation: Satyavrata, the saintly king of Dravida Desh, who received spiritual knowledge at the end of the last millennium by the grace of the Supreme, later became Vivasvata Manu, the son of Vivasvata, in the next Manvantara period of Manu. I have received this knowledge from you. I also understand that such kings as Ishwaku were his sons, as you have already explained. Text 4. Tesham Vamsam Prita Brahma Vamsa Nura Charitanicha Kitayaswa Mahabhoga Nityam Susrusatam Hina. Translation: O greatly fortunate Sukadeva Goswami, O great Brahmana, kindly describe to us separately the dynasties and characteristics of all those kings, for we are always eager to hear such topics from you. Text 5. Ye bhutaye bhavisyacha bhavantya dhyatanas teshamna punya kitinam sarve samvada vikramam. Translation: kindly tell us about the abilities of the celebrated kings born in the dynasty of Bhivaswan Manu, including those who have already passed, those who may appear in the future, and those who exist at present. Text 6. Sisuta Ovacha Evam Parikshita Raja Saddasi Brahmavandinam Pristapo Vacha Bhagavan Chukapara Madhamavit. Translation: Suta Goswami said, when Sukadeva Goswami, the greatest knower of religious principles, was thus requested by Maharaj Parikshit in the assembly of all the scholars learned in Vedic knowledge, he then proceeded to speak. Text 7. Sri Sukha Ovacha Suyatam Manavo Vamsa Prachuryena Parantapa Naksakyate Vistaratu Vaktum Vasa Satayapi. Translation: Sukadeva Goswami continued, O king, subduer of your enemies, now hear from me in great detail about the dynasty of Manu. I shall explain as much as possible, although one could not say everything about it, even in hundreds of years. So, text 8, these are the purports, so this is the text we have to center focus on. Paravaresham Bhutanam Atmaya Purusa Paraha Saeva Sid Idam Vishwam Kalpante Jnana Kinchana. Yes. Mataji's. Word for word translation. para aversion of all living entities in higher or lower statuses of life. Bhutanam, of those who have taken material bodies, the conditioned souls. Atma, the super soul. Yaha, one who is. Purusaha, the supreme person. Paraha, transcendental. Saha, he, ever, indeed, as it was existing. Idam, this, Vishwam, universe, Kalpa ante, at the end of the millennium, and yet anything else, na, not, kinchana, anything whatsoever. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confirmed Acharya. Srila Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. The transcendental Supreme Person, the super soul of all living entities, who are in different statuses of life, high and low, existed at the end of the millennium, when neither this manifested cosmos nor anything else but Him existed. Please kindly responsibly repeat. The transcendental Supreme Person, the super soul of all living entities, who are in different statuses of life, high and low, existed at the end of the millennium, when neither this manifested cosmos nor anything else but Him existed. So it's a brief purport. Let's listen with rapt attention. Srila Prabhupada's purport is very important to us. Taking the proper position from which to describe the dynasty of Manu, Sukadeva Goswami begins by saying that when the entire world is inundated, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists, and nothing else. Sukadeva Goswami will now describe how the Lord creates other things one after another. Om Gyana Tamiranasya, Kinajana Salakaya, Saksur Meditam, Jena Tasmai, Si Guru Suchetam and Om Vistam, Safitam, Binabhuta, Swayam Rupam, Karama, Yabladati Swam Padantikam, Vanasi Krishna Chaitanya, Ninchinanda Suhonitum, Varatai Puspavanto, Chita Chandatam. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Utnam Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravana Chara Nirsa Pachita Disatara Vanchakalpataribhya Cha Kritasundhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Sri Basada Sri Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama. So, this chapter is also another very intriguing chapter, because the content of this chapter basically is not something difficult to understand, because some of these things are already happening these days in a different form, in a different scientific approach. But, the substance is the same. People become transformed, they change. So, here, basically, Sukadeva Goswami, we find in Bhagavatam, there is always a dialogue going on to be able to generate a transcendental information for the benefit of human society. There is always a dialogue going on. So, here the dialogue between Maharaj Parikshit is reflected here in this chapter. Maharaj Parikshit has asked Sukadev some questions. He wanted Sukadev Goswami to elaborate, to give more information, more details about, these wonderful kings, these great kings, the Manus. So, Prabhupada mentions in the purport, in the following text, Sukadev will commence the description of the different aspects or the segments of creation, the different arrangements that the Lord has put in place. And so the whole thing is about a creation. Creation. The very first chapter of the very first text of the Srimad Bhagavatam is just sums up all of these stuffs. That the Lord basically is the source of everything. And by Him, everything is manifested. Again, the Upanishad also mentioned the same thing. It's just in different semantics, but the substance is the same. And so, in the summary part that we read, we also hear some very intriguing things, how people could just walk into a particular environment and their physical features become transformed. These things, if you read the very literature, you find a number of these cases. Sometimes people are even cursed to become transformed. One king in a Mahabharata, he did something that Indra was not very happy, so Indra created some avenue where he became transformed into a woman. You are laughing? Why? So this king, I've forgotten his name, but I was reading that story and it was so intriguing. So, it correlates with, this scenario here. Who knows the name of that king? I don't know. Anyway, let's get the story. The stop. So, Indra was not happy with him for one reason or the other. So, Indra made some arrangement, and he got trapped. He fell into the trap, and so he became transformed into a woman. Anyway, so he had to leave the kingdom. She has to leave the kingdom. Now she has to leave the kingdom, and got married and all this stuff. Got some children. So then Indra wanted her to again become transformed, and to change again to a man and go and take over his kingdom. She said no. She said no. She's okay with the new position of being a woman. You remember that story? Anyway, so the point is, her argument was that I've tasted being a man, now I tasted being a woman, and I feel that being a woman is more enjoyable. Being a female is more enjoyable. So she declined. She said no. So I remember when I first read that story, I was in Pennsylvania. So then I was in one of my friend's place, one white guy, and a number of people in that Harrisburg. They were coming to see me. So there was this lady, very tall lady, white lady. So she was telling me some stories about her life in terms of, her relationship, husband, and all this stuff. So I just jokingly, asked her that. So, okay, you separated from your man, but suppose you're complaining about it. But suppose you've been given an option to become a man. How would you like it? She said, no way. So that also reinforces, the story in the Bhagavatam. I mean, in the Mahabharata. That even right now, if you give some women, some ladies, they've not experienced the life of a man, okay? The social life of a man in terms of relationship. But, they prefer to be, she preferred to be a woman. So I asked about the reason, and she told me the reason. I don't want to tell you the reason. But it's the same reason that, that king, who later became a woman, the same reason that she gave, the same reason why she wouldn't want to become a man again. This lady also gave the same reason. She never read the Mahabharata. So it's from her own realization. So the bottom line is that these bodies, we've acquired these bodies, and we just have to use it. They are aspects of creation. It means they are subject to destruction. The bodies change. But within these bodies, according to Lord Brahma, even Lord Krishna reiterated that, several places in the Gita. According to Lord Brahma, he says that within each and every body, the super soul is there. Adantaratma paramanu, chayantarastam. Again, Lord Krishna reinforces that statement, or reiterated that statement in the Gita. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana. Read it, say, Arjuna tested. And not only one place. Again in 15:15, Lord Krishna reiterated. Sarvasya Saham. Read it, Sanim Vistu. So, all of these are pointing to one single factor. That this body, yes, is subject to destruction, is part of the material creation, but it is a temple. Where the Lord is situated is what? Sisi Rukmini Dwakadish is the presiding deity here. This place is a temple, whether you like it or not, isn't it? So our bodies, although they are part of material creation, subject to maintenance and destruction, just like the universe, or just like the universes. This body is a mini universe. Because within this body, there are so many other entities living in this body. There's so many worms, germs, viruses, so many things. Who can deny it? So this body is a mini universe. All of the elements of creation, they are also within this body. Bhumi, Apa, Nala, Vayu, Kam, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. Yes. And therefore, the important thing for us, if we are going through this chapter, basically giving us details about creation, but then we are part of the creation, and our business over the years, since time immemorial, is moving from one loka to the other, one Brahmanda to the other. Brahmanda, Brahmite, Konya, Bhagya, one Jiva. The business of the Jiva is to relocate. We're born in Los Angeles, we grow up here, we school here, we want to work, and we say, no, I have to move to New York. We are not satisfied with a particular location for a long time. So it is not something new that people like to relocate. It's been the inherent nature of the conditioned soul. And so, as the Jiva is always, it's been moving from since time immemorial, from one Brahmanda to the other. So our inherent nature, we can't change it. We like to move. But the whole idea of creation is just designed to make people to relocate. But devotional service, devotional culture is to stop this whole process of moving from one local to the other. To stop this cycle of being part of the material creation. Because there is nothing here. There's nothing within the material creation. The Bhagavatam mentions that we may work so hard for sukha, but sukham and dukkam, our share is designed. It's already been designed. And so what is the use? Therefore the Bhagavatam says, Tasheva heto prayate takovida. The kavis, the intelligent people, they want to dissociate themselves from this whole process of creation, maintenance, and destruction. These bodies are undergoing that process. The big universe, or the big universes are also doing that. These bodies, our bodies are also subject to that. The same process. Creation, maintenance, destruction. And sometimes people out there, they don't really care. There's no inquiries. Again, the Mahabharata said that's the most amazing thing, because people see others dying and everyone else is thinking, I'll live forever. If even they don't say that overtly, by their behavior, it tends to portray that they think, I will live forever. So devotional service, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, Sukadeva Goswami, Sutta Goswami, all of these great sages, they're helping us to understand that we have to use this human form of life to stop this whole process of upariyada, going back, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Because it becomes chewing the chew. Puna punas chavita chavanana. We take bodies, it's just the same thing. And so, interesting thing here is that, like this text 8 is indicating, that the Supreme Lord is the super soul of all living beings. He's there in each and every, in the heart region of each and every one. The Upanishad basically bring to bear that along with the soul, the super soul is there to direct the wanderings. Krishna also mentioned that in the Gita, to direct the wanderings of the conditioned entities. And sometimes Krishna is even directing our wanderings and we pay no heed. We don't give a damn. This is the beauty of conditioned life. So, we have to take to heart what this cosmic creation is all about, subject to destruction. Our bodies are also subject to destruction. We should take advantage of this one human life, perform devotional service under the guidance of the acharyas, and get out from this material world. We should not feel comfortable here, because there is nothing here. It's all about puna punas chavita charvanana, chewing the chewed. If you see someone pick up some chaff, some sugarcane chaff on the road and he's chewing, what will you say? It's crazy, isn't it? Are we crazy? It's already past the time. Any comments or questions? In the absence of any comments or questions, I'd like to thank all of you for your hospitality, and I hope that before I give up this body, I'm able to come again to to have your association. I very much thank the temple management and especially my wonderful young friend, Bhakti Vasudeva, who has always been keeping me company since I came. So, I'll be leaving today. At about 11 o'clock, I'll be going to San Diego. And then from there, I'll stay for a couple of days towards the weekend. I'll be leaving to the East Coast again. So thank you very much. And let me make a request. Suppose you see me somewhere, and you greet me, and then I answer you very casually. Pull me over and say, "Hey, Maharaj, I know you. I met you in such a place." Because sometimes we meet so many people, we see so many people, and that's the problem I have on Facebook also. People send requests and all these things. So my first, inquiry is, please kindly let me know where you might have known me. Yeah. Because we want to be personal, not impersonal. I give classes, and you meet me somewhere, and you greet me, and I may not remember everybody. If I answer you as if I don't seem to know you, pull me over and introduce yourself to me, please. That saves a lot of negative impression of, oh, he doesn't care, he doesn't know me, and people feel very bad. I remember one girl, we had a long some discussion in Vrindavan, and so she was now serving in DC. So she greeted me very cordially. So I said, "Hey, what do you know me?" Oh, she was infuriated. I said, please, don't be offended. Don't get angry with me. I just want to be clarified, because if I pretend as if, okay, hello, you will not like it. Then she told me, oh, we have some discussion in New Vrindavan and such a time. Yeah, so because see, our movement is and should be based on interpersonal relationships. If we make the movement impersonal, then we could just drive so many new people who are coming away. So yeah, this is my humble request. If you greet me somewhere and I behave as if I don't know you properly, you pull me over. Srila Prabhupada, okay.
Text 9. Ready?